Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Cara Delane and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings and Cara Delane.
Welcome, everyone, to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark. And Ted, we have an amazing show tonight. I can't wait.
And Cara, we have a very good-looking crew here as well with us tonight. So excited to have the best dressed award winners from the Fixed Ops Roundtable. A lot of great friends here this evening, and we're about to welcome them. Before I do, I want to give a acknowledgement to the folks in Florida. You are in our prayers and all for what's happening down there with the hurricane. And Marco Zwanenberg, who's scheduled to be with us tonight, is in the dark tonight, but he's safe. He's been texting me. So again, the folks in Florida, we're thinking about you this evening. And again, you are in our prayers. Our show this evening is sponsored exclusively by BG Products, who are partners in products. And BG sponsors a whole lot of what we do here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. And this show is no exception. And we're very grateful to all of them and what they do. Cara, what are you wearing there in that picture?
Man, you know, Ted, I was just really embodying Bob Tasca in this photo, but I don't think I could ever compete with him.
I heard you're going to be the backup driver for one of the upcoming races in October. Is that true?
You know, maybe if my advertising career in automotive just falls through, I'll just hit Bob up and see if I can race cars for a living.
All right, I think so. So we're very grateful to Bob Tasca for being on the last show and on the upcoming one in November, and to BG Products for all they do in our industry. And I want to welcome our guests tonight. They are Scott Gregg from Tucson Subaru, Michelle McLean from Retention Masters for all her great work behind the scenes at the Roundtable. David O'Brien is here tonight. He is the man from Quantum 5, and we're going to hear a lot about what Quantum is doing. Sarah Van Tyne from Quantum 5 is here as well, the Vice President of Sales. And Brooke Furness is here. And Tully, we have you in spirit here tonight. Sorry we can't make it. We hope you're feeling better, Tully. And a lot of love to you on that cover of Fixed Ops magazine. And Tully is everywhere. Cara, I got to tell you, like in the last 72 hours, everybody's calling me saying, hey, you know, can we do this with Tully, that with Tully? Can he be in our next segment? Can we interview with Tully? So, and I think you're no exception, right?
I mean, Tully is one of my favorite people on the planet by far. I mean, of course, everybody wants Tully. If you've heard from him, if you've seen him, he's so entertaining, he's so sweet, and he's super knowledgeable about the automotive industry. And that's probably why we all have these buttons that resemble him.
That's right. And, you know, Sarah, you go back a ways where you met Tully at one of our early Fixed Ops Roundtables, and you and Tully and Ed, you know, have been really the big three behind all the Fixed Ops Roundtable events.
Yes, that really was an amazing time getting to meet them the first time, and it's been awesome to see them. It's like the Three Musketeers every time that we go someplace together.
You know, Sarah, you were working at, I'll mention the name, Scott Clark Automotive Group in North Carolina in early 2020 when we met with Tully and with Dave O'Brien. Looks like Russell Hill is in. By the way, we are live tonight, right, Kara?
We are live. I'm bringing in the comments as they come. So keep
All right.
commenting and keep sharing the video, y'all.
All right. So keep commenting, everybody. Love it. Russell, welcome tonight. And Sarah, I'm going to guess maybe within a year later, David O'Brien, Quantum 5, was on the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and David was saying to me, you know, who out there in retail automotive would be a good fit for Quantum 5? And I gave him just one or two names, and yours was one of them. I said, well, Sarah Van Tine, Dave, would be a great find for Quantum 5. But I don't know if you recall what I said, Dave. I said, but you're not going to be able to get her.
That's exactly what you said. You said you've got no chance, Dave.
So I give David O'Brien all the credit because somehow, David, you did it, and you got this amazing retail personality who's up and coming in the car business with you.
No, I'm surrounded by really great people, and I should tell the story about how strong Sarah is, though. So Sarah wrote me a letter in May and says, you're a roadblock. You're not getting enough done. You need to get out of the way. There's more things I can do. I can handle this. Turn it over to me and get out of the way. And I just smiled and I went, you know, how often do you get lucky to have somebody with that kind of passion, that kind of initiative? And I was grateful that she trusted me enough that she knew she could kick my butt and tell me to get out of the way. And I was happy to listen.
So Sarah, I did not know that story, and that actually explains a lot because Belle, good evening. Welcome, everybody. Dave and I were talking a while back, and I forget there was something that I went to him and asked, you know, I said, would you mind if Sarah did this or that with the Fixed Ops Roundtable? Dave, I don't even remember what it was. And I don't know if you recall what you said to me, Dave.
I do. I said, you know, sooner or later, she's going to realize that she is the vice president of this company and she can do what she wants. And we're not going to run this organization where she needs my permission. She can go do what she wants. That's good for her. And I'm happy with it. Yeah.
Wow. So I want to thank everybody, Dave, for being here tonight. Not just the folks who are on the screen, but all the ones who got dressed up as well, who were on the roundtable, who were attendees and watching the roundtable. Tully, you got dressed up. I can't even count, Michelle, the number of panels that Tully was on, including the keynote that he did with David Lance. But Michelle, Tully was everywhere on this event.
Oh, he absolutely was. And I commend all of you that dressed up for this event. I really think that it's the people who are involved with this, whether it's our sponsors or our speakers, and especially Kara. I have to give my kudos to Kara. We come up with these really cool themes and then Kara helps me bring them to life. And I'm so excited every time that we do an event. It's just more and more fun because we really bring these visions to life. And I have to also give kudos to Sarah because I think a lot of times we have that pushback, right? Where we're like, oh, we shouldn't open our mouths and tell people. But the reality is, just like Steve Jobs said, you hire people who are better than you, and then you have to get out of the way. And I wish that I could just scream that from the mountaintops where I live to everyone in automotive, like hire the people who get out of the way. So, and Sarah, you were absolutely beautiful. Brooke as well. You guys just did such an amazing job with dressing up. So I just love it.
So I was glad before I get to, she bought hers from Amazon because I didn't want to be the only one that had to admit my vest, my hat, my everything came from Amazon. So,
I think all of ours did. Every one of them. Mine came from Amazon too.
Oh no, I'm okay with that. 100%. Mad props Amazon, and then I'm also sending my medical bills to Amazon as well. So, but yes, 100% all the Amazon. Thank you.
So Michelle, take us back to last May because we just did an event called May the Ford, and Cara Delane was dressed up as Princess Leia for weeks and weeks, maybe months, okay, as I recall.
Sure.
And you texted me and we had a phone call and you suggested a theme for the September event. And take us through that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I just wanted to do something different. And I'd been seeing all types of stuff earlier on in the year where Lincoln was celebrating their 100th anniversary. And I said, you know what, why don't we do a pay homage to that and let's do the Roaring 20s, because we'd never done anything. And I thought, well, this is a really great opportunity for people's personalities to shine. I think so often we go to these automotive events, whether they're virtual or in person, and it's just kind of the same people and the same thing and the same presentations. And you're just like, I'm tired of it. So every time we do these events, I really enjoy coming up with like a unique and an awesome new theme that we can all embrace, and we can dress up and we can let our personality shine, and that we can just stand out and be different. And so we did that with the Roaring 20s, and we're going to be doing that again with our next 2 events. And it's so much fun. And you guys make it what it is. You give me the creativity, and then you bring it to life. And it's a lot of fun to do.
It is. So, Brooke, you and I talked, I think, in June about coming on the Fixed Ops Roundtable. And I don't know if you or even I had any idea what we were in for the next couple months. What do you think?
I would second that. No, I don't think at all. We spoke and I was like, okay. And I knew like the year prior what, I'd been on it or had seen it, hadn't been on it. And this is my first time actually being on it. And I was 100% blown away. And all I could think was, okay, I'm on a panel with Joe St. John. That was the first one I was on. And I just go, you better step up your game, Brooke. Get your stuff together. And I did so much prep before. And I was like, all right. And because I just knew what you brought to the table. And I just didn't want to be the one that brought the entire team down. I was like, don't be the weak link. And that's all I could think. And then you just saw all the panels come around, and you saw what everyone brought to the table. And remember speaking, I think the night before, I think with you, Ted, and just, you're like, how many attendees and were signing up? I was like, this is freaking insane. And I just love, once again, going back to what Michelle is saying, is how you see people just rally around it. And hey, let's keep spreading the message, because when one person talks about it, if especially like let's say it's my event, if I keep talking about it, that's going to fall on deaf ears. So just how everyone else kept spreading the message, and when that happens, it just kind of catches like wildfire and keeps going. And I just love seeing that. And it was just an incredible event, Ted. And I can't thank everyone, Kara, and the entire team, Beach, everyone involved, and the speakers. How you don't just take it like, okay, I'm just going to show up and roll out of bed and go. Like, everyone just took it to heart. Like, we're going to really embrace this and go with it. It was incredible.
So, Dave, we took a page out of the quantum playbook, and I'll admit that to you here tonight. You use the smartphone, the iPhone, the Samsung. You use that to engage the learner. So we found out that about 50-60% of the people coming to the roundtable were watching on their phones. So we made it a point, Dave, to be able to communicate with people on their phones by sending things like the text out in advance to remind them who the next speaker coming up. They could push a button and come back in. And really, Dave, the stuff that you're doing at Quantum, we kind of, copied some of that stuff here. I'm not ashamed to say, but it really works, and it gets the people to watch the event.
It has become so integrated into our life, right? It's like I don't know how to track an airplane ticket anymore or where I'm going without looking inside the TripIt app in my phone. And I'll give you an interesting fact about phone usage service advisors that we have around the nation, right? So 67% of the interaction we have with service advisors on the Quantum app happens before 7 a.m. from their cell phone. Versus our sales team folks are all in the afternoon and evening and a lot of late night. But service advisors engagement is morning time. And you can just picture them driving to work, right? And catching a few tips, thinking, getting their head ready for the drive that morning. So, yeah, no, you guys did a great job.
Scott, when we train service advisors, we start early, dovetailing what Dave just said. We start earlier in the morning. The salespeople, Scott, we start them at about 9 o'clock, and they usually come in late, right? But the service advisors, we start them no later. Like the latest, Scott, would be 8 a.m., right?
Oh, yeah. We have our morning meetings at 7 a.m. every morning.
And Scott, you've got a background before you came to Tucson Subaru. Tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that you've done, because you've got a very interesting career in retail.
A lot of different things. I was with GM for 26 years. Started out in the business as a technician, came up through the world's largest automobile dealer, and then went from there to the Sewell organization, Carl Sewell. Worked there for a number of years. Then I had my own shop, and then I went to consulting, did that for a little while, and then ended up here.
And Tucson Subaru is rocking because you've got a company that's growing. You're acquiring more dealerships as well.
Right. Yeah, they have 35 rooftops and 41 franchises right now.
Wow. So, Scott, on this last event, the previous event, Carrie, he took us flying. He's a pilot as well. This event, Scott was on the Fixed Ops magazine panel, which took place, I believe, on the very first day.
Yeah.
Michelle, one of the things I learned from the surveys that went out to the attendees at this event was that all 3 days with, I think, 100 and some speakers, right? And a lot of panels, it seemed. We ran ahead of schedule, Michelle, like 5 to 10 minutes all day long. And like, here I am, I'm prepared to tell people, okay, Dave, we're going to be a little late, and I think a lot of speakers are expecting me to say that, but instead the texts they got, Michelle, were, we're running 10 minutes ahead today and it's 3:30 in the afternoon. So you're going to be up a little bit earlier if that's okay. Michelle, I mean, talk about that because that was pretty remarkable.
It really is. Like, again, a lot of people don't understand how meticulous the planning is. I mean, we start planning these events typically 2, 3, sometimes even 4 months in advance because we really do want to over deliver. And unfortunately, a lot of times when you go to events, sometimes they don't even get to all of the speakers or tech issues. Things just don't go the way that they're supposed to. And it can actually create a disconnect between your speakers and your attendees. And so we work really hard behind the scenes to make sure that, we're doing the sound checks properly, that we let people know, hey, this is what to expect. This is how you need to prepare to speak. Like, we really do our due diligence to make sure everybody is fully prepared. And when you do that, when you plan 2, 3, 4 months in advance, even though sometimes it might be a little bit overindulgent, if you will, that I think is really what separates our event from any other event that's out there. It's the planning that goes into it. And we all work really well together as a team. We're calling and texting and emailing, and everybody kind of has their finger on the pulse of what we're doing with this event. We all know exactly what we need to do. And when you can finally have that alignment with the Ted Ings brain, it makes things go a whole lot smoother. So I think Kara can probably concur.
That alignment is not so easy, is it, Michelle? Especially in the beginning.
No, it's not. But you know what? Once you get that rhythm down and you kind of can start to understand how Ted thinks and the way he wants things presented and the cohesion that goes into that, it makes things flow. And I think that's so important. It's having a team of people that work really, really well together and that they can play off of what other people are doing. And then back to what Sarah did, it's releasing some of that control. I know a lot of times in automotive, whether you're a dealer or a vendor or whatever that looks like, people really want to be like, no, I'm in control and I'm doing this and we want you to do it that way. But when you bring in the right team of people that they just all mesh together and you let them individually be themselves, do what needs to be done, like, you hired those people for a reason. So let them do their thing. And then that conversely will take a lot of the pressure off of you. And like I said, this team is absolutely incredible. I mean, we work so well together. And I think that's what makes this event what it is, because we do have that symmetry and alignment.
So, Dave, I think for you and I, the key is to let us think we are in control, but really let others take control. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I've given up the illusion that I have any, right? Married to the same girl for 35 years. She eliminated that illusion of control a while ago. And by the way, if Sarah was to tell you the truth, sales are up because she got me out of the way. So I'm super proud of everybody on that team.
All right, so let's talk real quick about bringing the Roaring 20s to life. Kara, I texted you when Michelle said, let's go Roaring 20s. And Michelle, you suggested Kara would be a flapper girl. And that's exactly what I texted you, Kara. And like within seconds, Kara texted me back. She goes, yes, I'm in, right? Kara, how did you, because I remember right around the 4th of July, I remember talking to you, right? And we had just gone with this show twice a week, right? We went from Mondays to Mondays and Wednesdays. And I remember saying to you, I think we're behind, right? We got to get out in front of this Roaring 20s thing. And you sent me the photos of the first wigs and outfits and, kind kind of how did you do that? Because we ended up giving one of the characters a name, and tell us the backstory on that.
Yeah, so Ted always texts me months in advance. I knew about this upcoming event in November, months before we had even finished the Roaring 20s. And he always gives me plenty of notice of what's going on. And, I always check with him a little bit, or I consult with Michelle and see if we're all on the same wavelength, like she was saying. And I'll buy, one outfit and I'll send a photo and be like, am I on the right track here? And if I get good feedback, like the floodgates are open. I'm buying all the outfits that Amazon has. I'm doing crazy content. Sometimes Ted gives me ideas of what to do, or Michelle will give me some idea. And then other times I'm just way out in left field and sending random content to see, what they think about it, and kind of providing all different sorts of things. And I mean, it's always so much fun. And I wouldn't be here doing it if I wasn't learning so much from these wonderful mentors and getting to network with so many amazing people every single week and watching the Fixed Ops Roundtable grow. And I will say it is nice to not be the only one dressing up anymore, because for a long time I was the only one. And within the last few events, it has been so amazing to see the whole Fixed Ops community getting involved, so much so that they are ordering outfits and dressing up right along with us. So it's been really special, and it will always hold a special place in my heart. And I absolutely love it. It's unlike any other conference event out there. And I think that's what makes it so successful.
Sarah, you have seen this from the early days. So talk to us about that, because, in the very beginning, I think when you went to that conference in Vegas, that was the first one that Michelle had suggested. Tully, I agree with that. Michelle has suggested a theme. She said, what should we call the Vegas event? I said, well, it's the fourth event. How about number 4? And she said, no, we're going to call it Viva Las Vegas. And if you recall, Michelle, I questioned that, but I learned to, Dave, give up the, give up the, Michelle, we're going to go with Viva Las Vegas. And Sarah, so that was a success. But then when, COVID happened and all that, and we went online, we started doing these themes, Jumanji and the Tire Summit and the Greatest Show. What are some of the things that, that went through your mind as we started rolling these themes out and getting a little bit further away from maybe Fixed Ops, but actually bringing more Fixed Ops people in as a result of it?
I think that's the parallel between one of the things that I've loved so much about Quantum has been just the fun. That's really what draws people in, I think, is like, in addition to the amazing content, because let's be real. I mean, the content has been incredible back when it was in person in Vegas. I mean, I learned so much at the Fixed Ops Roundtable then, and then online in COVID. I mean, we've had so many powerful speakers, so much great information. But then you get those fun little snippets in between with Kara running around in Jumanji and the Star Wars stuff. And I mean, it adds a whole nother layer that just makes it a lot more entertaining. I think for me, it just, it reminds me of being almost in a game. Like, okay, all right, we're 20s. Cool. Let's dress up. Let's get into character. And I love, I think, Ted, I texted you this, but I love the picture that Michelle put together for all of the people that were the winners from this last contest. And I was like, man, that's a really good looking game of Clue. That was like the first thing that I thought of when I saw it.
When you said that, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, murder mystery dinner. Like, let's just, See,
I have a question. Did anybody else watch Leonardo DiCaprio in Gatsby in order to get motivation?
Absolutely.
I thought, okay, I'm going to go watch the movie again, get some motivation be ready for this.
The lingo and the whole vibe, you had to embody it.
Yeah,
it is too. It's a whole vibe. It's not just one little piece. It's a whole vibe, and Ted embraces that so well.
I know one of the things that Kara insists on doing before we do an event, and she'll admit, I don't know a lot about, let's say, Star Wars, she'll say, right? But she'll say, I'm going to watch Star Wars tonight, and I'm going to rewatch it, right? And I'm going to learn the lingo. And then I remember her saying to me, I just filmed the iconic scene. And I'm like, the iconic scene? Wait, does she mean? And that was the one that she had filmed. So Dave, yes, there are others that are involved that are watching it as well. Brooke, I'm detecting that maybe Sarah's idea of Clue and the board game, that might be a future theme coming up for a roundtable, bro.
I'm loving it. I think that, and I love how it's the amount of preparation. And we were talking about this before we went live, just the amount of preparation and work that goes into make anything happen, whether it's a reel, whether it's a post. A lot of times people don't understand that it's like, whoa, we don't just throw up something and make it happen. Like there is so much work that goes into it. So I think that, I know that we need to stop for a minute and just thank all of you, because there is so much blood, sweat, and tears that go into this. It doesn't just happen. And you all have said this, that it's months and months of work just to make the conference happen, and then to make the content happen. You all have to be on the same brainwave to make that happen. And so, yes, I love the Clue idea. And it's just the constant, it could be something as simple as, hey, we're talking and all of a sudden we go on a tangent. Oh, wait, that's a great idea. Like right now, hey, the Clue idea, that's a great idea. So yeah, I like where you guys are going with that. I love it. It's great. It's fantastic.
Totally, and I agree that was the best ever as well. Brad Pascal, welcome. Good evening, Brad. Brooke, I agree. So one of the things, Scott, Greg, when like mid-July, when Kara started rolling out the outfits, right, with the Roaring 20s, and we got the music early, Dave, right? You know, with the theme and all that playing. One of the things I was concerned about, Scott, is that people are going to look at this and say, oh, you know, maybe that's not such a serious event. So, Scott, what I decided to do early was secure some of the big speakers, like Mike Maroney, like Jim Roche, like Chris Saraceno, a couple of Bob Tasca, Spizak, so that early on, when people would see the Roaring 20s, they would also see, oh, but wait a second, they've got David Spizak coming, they've got Jim Roche, so this is a real event, right? And so then by the time September came and Labor Day came, it all kind of came together, and you saw this lineup. And then the next thing you know, I told Michelle, I said, I just had a phone call from the president of Reynolds and Reynolds, and his name is Chris Walsh, Kara, right? And you met him. And Chris Walsh, Dave, called me up and said, can I speak at the Fixed Ops Roundtable? And I said, I don't know. What do you do? He says, I'm the president of Reynolds and Reynolds. And I said, like a division? He said, no, like the company, okay? And anyway, it all started coming to, so it all kind of, you know, fits as we do it. So, all right. So tonight, everybody, we want to talk a little bit about what's coming up in November. We're going to have another Fixed Ops Roundtable that we are feverishly preparing for. Sarah, I've seen some stuff that you've shared with us already. Kara, I know that you're working behind the scenes. Do you want to share? Well, first of all, give us the date on when this is going to happen so we can kind of put it in perspective.
Yes, I feel like it's right around the corner. So this one's going to be in November, a 3-day virtual event. Once again, it's going to be November 15th, 16th, and 17th. And it is called the Fixed Ops Roundtable Dare to Dream. So if you've seen a few posts out there already about this upcoming event, it is all about the masks. It's going to be kind of a masquerade ball theme, and we're going to have tons of fun with it. So I have already seen a few people that are on tonight with us already have their masked head.
And why are we doing the mask, Kara? Is there a purpose behind that?
So Dare to Dream is a project with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society to help kids with blood cancers. So the whole event is going to be rallying around raising funds to help these young children and their families, you know, go through these incredible times. And, you know, we can help them by spreading awareness, raising funds. And there's so much out there that people are uneducated about when it comes to LLS. So I think it is our part to play with the Fixed Ops Roundtable. And we are going to ask everyone, we're going to say, here is the main theme, guys. The Fixed Ops Roundtable dares you to unmask cancer with us in November. And that's what we are doing in the next coming months. So if you haven't already got your mask, help us unmask cancer this season with the Fixed Ops Roundtable, guys. It's going to be an amazing event, by far one of my favorites yet, and it's all for an amazing cause. So spread the word, you know, share that link with everybody, and let's help raise some funds for some children.
So, Sarah, if you don't mind, show us that again. What do you got? That mask you got there? Because
Oh,
wow.
yeah. As soon as Kara had and you had texted me the theme, I was like, oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
Awesome.
So, today I had a number of dealers and speakers and sponsors, Michelle, commit to me of not only doing the mask selfie, because we're going to ask them to do a short video, right, Kara? With the line that you just said that we talked about earlier today. So I think that's fantastic. But I spoke with Owen Moon at Fixed Ops Digital, and he's ordering the mask bundle at Amazon, Dave. I just learned there's a mask bundle, right?
Yep.
And he's going to have the entire office do a video, okay, unmasking cancer. So there's a lot of great stuff coming. Tully, I can't wait to see your mask as well.
Ordered
But,
by today.
It's all for a good cause, Brooke. And it's going to happen November 15th, 16th, and 17th. Same cause we had last year, LLS, but Dave, it's for the Children's Initiative. So
I sense I'm about to be worn down and ordering a mask.
Yes, probably.
Something
You
tells
might
me.
get something in your mailbox, Dave.
Everybody send your masks to Dave.
Dave, I will tell you, because I no joke over to this direction. I don't know. I'm probably mirrored, so it's probably this direction once this all gets rendered. Is I have no joke. I think I have 10 masks sitting over here, because what I learned from this time around is I got to order from Amazon, see what doesn't have metal in it. And as I'm going through and asking all these questions on Amazon, I was like, okay, what's the material? And you go through, there's just a load of questions about people asking, does it work with glasses? Does it work with glasses? Does it work with glasses? So you do have to find out if it works with glasses or not. So there are masks that are glasses friendly. So I will tell you, because I literally have, no joke, 10 masks sitting right over here or this way, depending how this comes through. So yeah.
I know you do.
All right. The gauntlet has been thrown.
Yep,
Yes,
it has. All right. So everybody, I think we're about at time. I want to thank all of you for everything you've done for the Fixed and continue to do for the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Quantum 5, Dave, thank you so much for your amazing support at all the events. So we really appreciate you and the value that you and Sarah and the speakers from Quantum bring to the event. So we're so grateful to you, Dave.
It's a two-way street to all of you, and we're grateful. Thank you.
And Scott, Greg, thank you so much. By the way, we would not be involved, everybody, with LLS if it were not for Scott Gregg, who's here tonight. Scott, very early on at our second Fixed Ops Roundtable, told me he was involved with Leukemia and Lymphoma Society out in Arizona. And Scott, you just did a big event or two at your store, did you not?
We did. We built bikes for kids that have leukemia and lymphoma issues, and I think we put together 28 bikes and delivered them to the kids. They came up and picked them up and stuff, and that was pretty amazing. And we've got the walk coming up next month, and some other stuff going on too.
And so it was Scott who suggested, let's get Tom Dahl involved at Subaru. And as you know, he came on our show last November. So we're going to invite Tom back. I expect him to accept and be involved as well in this one. So we're looking forward to it. So Scott, thank you for all you do. Sarah, amazing stuff. Don't stop. Love the energy and the inspiration, Sarah, that you bring. And also the fact that, Sarah, you are a role model. I know that Kara has told me on many occasions, she looks up to you because she says Sarah's got it all. She's got the professional life, she's got the family, she's got everything going. So, Sarah, thank you for all you do for our industry.
Oh, thank you, Ted. It wouldn't be complete without being part of the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Yeah, sure. Love it. So, and Brooke, we hope this will become and is your favorite event. And we're so grateful to you for, Dave, I asked Brooke, I think, to be on one panel. And then the next thing, one turned into two and two turned into three. And so, Brooke, thank you so much.
It was truly my honor. Thank you so much. Like I said, to be a part of this is it's amazing, and love what you all are doing. So thank you very much.
Michelle, I'll give you the last word before I turn it back over to Kara.
Well, I like everybody. This event is such a big part of my life and my heart, and it's done so much for my career. So thank you, Ted, for trusting me with your branding and all of the event ideas and everything that we do behind the scenes. It's truly my honor, and I can't imagine my life without this event. It's such a big part of my life, and I know a lot of yours too. So thank all of you for bringing my ideas to life with everything that you do to support us. We're truly grateful, and can't wait to see what we bring out in the future and in the next events. It's really exciting.
All right. Thank you, everybody, so much. So, Kara, that brings us to the end. What do you think?
I mean, we have some great looking people on here, Ted, and you're right. I looked up to every single person on the screen right now and so many more that aren't here tonight. And everyone on here and everybody watching tonight is what makes the Fixed Ops Roundtable what it is. It's not just our team. It's not just the people on the screen. It's everybody that is watching, that's got involved, wants to be involved. And I have no idea what this will turn out to be in the years to come.
All right. So with that, everybody, thank you so much. And Kara, this will kind of close out the Roaring 20s, and now it's going to be Dare to Dream from here on in, I think, right?
It sure is. Yep. From here on out, we are unmasking cancer with the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So join us leading up to November 15th, 16th, and 17th. Thank you all for watching tonight and being here. And I hope to have some more best dressed winners at the next event. Thanks for watching tonight. We'll see you Monday at 8 p.m.